when we attended the conference, we had a session of how do we popularize humanism in Africa. Because most of us, we are teachers, we are younger teachers who are almost graduating from university. We thought it would be a good idea if we could take on schools and then build schools which could allow students to exercise their consciousness without being forced. Then we could explain our idea, our side of the idea. Then we also give them a chance to explain theirs, and people could eventually pick up what we want to say. So we resolved that we could start schools in humanist schools where we could invite all the students to come in and then give them a chance to express their views without being forced, without being coerced into believing into something. So that's why we have the idea of starting a school. So at that time, I was almost leaving the university in 2004. So I went and started teaching somewhere in the school. I was saving some small income during that time. And after some time, I saved up to 1,200,000 Uganda shillings. And then I decided, let me go and start a school in my local area. The reason why I wanted to start a school in my local area, where I come from, there were very few schools, very few high schools, and nearly all the students were dropping out of school at primary level. So I thought that by starting a school in my area, I would help those students who do not have any chance of going to high school and maybe university to access an education. So I took the money I had saved to my family. I told my mother, I want to start a high school so that I can help the children from our area to access education and maybe also go to the university as I had gone to the university. So my mother was so much excited on the learning of my idea. Said, even me, I have some 4 bags of coffee beans, which I harvested from my garden. Let me sell the coffee beans, and I add you the money, and you start the school. So she sold the coffee beans and added me money, and then I filled the bricks and the first materials to start a school building on the family land. So I was given a family land to start the school because my family was so keen to see that even other people from the area can access an education. So when we started taking the materials to the site, people came from the village around and they said, "What are you doing?" I said, "We are trying to construct a high school in the area." So people said, "Okay, no, if you are constructing a high school, we are offering some bricks to start the school building." So we got some 4 people coming and join us to clear the site, and they gave us bricks. So we started the first building of the school. In that time, Berkley of the Northeast Humanists in UK attended the 2004 conference in Kampala. So he contacted us and he said, "Okay, if you are starting a school, let us find the ways of joining in hands, and we start the school, a humanist school." So Berkley, from he lost a son in an accident. So he had an organization which would come to Uganda and help people in Africa, especially in land issues. So I'm going to have some money, and you start another building which could be used for science laboratory. So that's what you do. As you teach the students, you expose them to scientific facts. They will help them understand the issues of humanism. So Buddy brought in some money, and we constructed a building to be used as a science laboratory. Up now, we are using the same building for science laboratory. So after some time, Steve Hart came over and met us in Uganda. He visited the school, and from that time, he started to look for funds to help us put up more buildings, and he helped us secure some textbooks and chemicals for the school. Also to help girls with the sanitary towels, because here most of the girls were dropping out of school because of a menstruation period. They would not have anything to use. So by the time they could get out, they would feel uncomfortable in school because of the menstruation period. So Steve helped to supply the sanitary towels to girls. And now we have been having a high retention of girls in school. Actually, the girls are more than the boys now, and they feel comfortable. So we constructed the hostels for the girls and hostels for the boys. And now the school has grown big in size and in infrastructure. We are having approximately 600 students, out of which 400 students stay at school permanently in boarding. 200, we have witnessed the 200 for the local community because we don't want to lose the school to lose local touch. We want those 200 to come from the local community. Although we need money to run the school, we thought it would be better if we have at least 200 students from the local community benefiting from what we started here.